Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Natalie and I'm the maker behind the All Homesteading Knitting podcast. I have a vlog type episode for you today, so we'll begin talking about knitting and then we transition to talk about gardening, and you'll see all the things that I've been up to this month. So let's begin with what I'm wearing. So I, of course, like everybody else, have been watching Bridgerton season 3. So I must have been inspired by that. So this morning when I was getting ready for the day, I grabbed my Capulet blouse by Fable Knitwear. So I knitted this maybe a couple of years ago now. I'll stand up so you can see. So this is a combination of cotton and wool. I think it's Southampton yarns or cotton and mohair. I think it's cotton mohair by Southampton yarns, I believe. Don't quote me on that because I don't actually remember, but it has a lovely halo and it's a nice little blouse, nice little feminine blouse. So that's the Capulet blouse by Fable Knitwear. So while I have been knitting on some things, this month I have been enjoying getting out there, going for bike rides and spending time in the garden, and just in general just getting out and doing things. So while I do have quite a few whips, all of which you won't be seeing in today's episode, I do have a couple of finished objects. So let's begin with simple scarf. This is a garter stitch scarf, but what I love about it is that it is really long. So this can be worn layered up quite nicely, and yeah, I just wanted a simple scarf that I could knit on. So I can knit on other more complicated knit whips. I would have a simple garter stitch. So this is knit from Garthenor Organic Preseli, which is a wool blend of Romney, Hebridean and Polworth. It's a very lovely fingering weight yarn, and so this is from the colour Baked Crimson, the yellow is Gorse, and the green is a colourway called Willow. So all in all, very happy with this simple scarf, and that will be ready for me to wear in the autumn. Next finished object. I have shown these before as a whip, but they are now finished. So these are the Painting Brick socks by Stephen West. Now, not to labour the point, so this one I'm not as happy with, as there are issues with the pattern writing or the instructions, which causes this effect. What they actually should look like, which is more brick-like, is like this, with the staggered edges. If we compare the two, so it shouldn't really have that line between the bricks. But yeah, pretty happy with them. These are my second pair that I've made from this pattern, and with my first pair, very happy. They get worn a lot, so I thought I would make a second pair. So this is knit using a blend of wool and nylon, which is the Ficolana Arwetta that I bought from Sweden, and also using just one skein and scrap yarns from my scrap box of dreams. So yeah, all in all, they're still a bit damp. I finished them yesterday, but yeah, I'm happy with them. Let's talk about whips very, very briefly, because to be honest with you, this month I have just been working on my scarf and my socks. But for the month of June, I definitely would like to work more on my blouse. I'll put the name on screen. As it's mosaic knitting, it is very, very slow going. So it's a lot of knitting. So this will be a crossbody blouse, and I'm knitting it using the Ficolana Arwetta in this sort of mid-grey, and some Jarbo Yak yarn, which is very soft, very drapey, probably like the softest yarn that I have actually used to this date. So yeah, I'm just holding those two double, well not double, but I'm mosaic knitting with it, so it's you're knitting one colour per row. So that's just backwards and forwards. It's knit flat. Yeah, I'm just short of separating for sleeves on this one, so halfway I guess to go. So that's one whip. Second whip, which I must confess I have not knit anything on. So this is the modern mudcloth sweater by Chinua Matthews, and yeah, I have not made any progress. So this is a whip that I know will take me some time because it's an all over colour work sweater, and I'm very excited to have this as a product knit, but I think I will slowly work on it throughout the summer and hopefully have it ready to wear in autumn. So I'm hoping I'll be finished with this by September. So that's my goal. So I better get a move on. But yeah, it's going to be super warm. So this is knit using my trusted woolly knit cones in black and the cream nep colourways. You can't really see the neps, which that's something that I did consider when choosing this yarn, but thankfully the neps don't really show up. Kind of here you can see, but yeah. So that's whip number 2. Hopefully in my next update episode I will have worked, or at least gotten to the point where I can separate the sleeves, which I hoped that would be the case for May, but clearly not. And then the third whip is the Anchor sweater, which is for my husband, which also has not seen the time of day. But for the month of June, hopefully I shall be knitting on these more larger projects to have some of these ready for the colder months. New collar. It's a lot more comfortable. So I'm sat here just seaming my sleeve. So I've got quite a sharp tapestry needle, just working pretty well, and I'm just mattress stitching the sleeve. So I'm just working my way through. I don't actually have sewer's pins, so I'm just using stitch markers to help keep my sleeve in place. And yeah, so I'm gonna get on with this. Okay, so I've just finished one sleeve, so let's try it on to see. Okay. So this is the sleeve that I've done. It's okay. So I might just have to seam that bit down just on the inside of the cuff here. And yeah, so this is what I don't like. It's not very practical for my life, and I also want to sew the inside of the button band, because it always sort of comes out and it makes it look really untidy. So I'm going to sew down the backs of the button band for a neater appearance. But yeah, so this is perfect for housework and working in the garden. So I always try to do my sleeves a little bit shorter if it's a transitional piece. It's just a lot more practical for me, and then having the narrower sleeve, it's a lot more cool. So let's do the others. So I had quite a lot to mend and adjust this month, including this backpack that last month I bought for very cheap, because it had a tear due to it being hung up in the shop like this. So that was a fairly quick repair. I also had to repair a sweater for my husband, so in the underarm had a rip, and also adjustment to my novice sweater, my novice cardigan, and a few other bits and pieces. But to be honest with you, this is something that I would love to invest time and effort into learning how to do properly. So I'm finding that my repairs and patches could look a bit neater. So I think in the future I would like to maybe attend a mending class or some kind of hand sewing class, just so that I'm a bit more confident with my skills, so that I can intentionally make like a visible mend or an invisible mend. I just want to up those skills a bit, because I am using the skills a little bit more with my sort of more handmade garments or knitted garments. So I think that would be quite a good skill to brush up on. So please comment down below if you know of any good resources that I could use to, up my skill in this area. So I've just got back from a dog walk, and I managed to pick up some strawberries. So I do have a plan for these, and I have decided to change the plants that are in my hanging basket along like each side of my door, because I will show you what I planted in them last year. So I always like to, this is why I love gardening. It's like one of the areas in life where you can experiment and do whatever, and there's no real consequence, you know, for those of us who are quite risk averse. You can just plant stuff, and if it doesn't work out, it's no biggie. So last year I bought some blackberry plants, bought them online, and they were billed as what's the word, like trailing blackberry plants. So in my mind I had the idea that they would be cascading either side of my front door, and I thought, oh, that would be pretty cool to have like just berries hanging outside your door. And then so I cultivated them for a year, and then when they actually fruited, they weren't cascading at all. Like, I ate the berries, they were very nice, but essentially I had just planted a load of brambles in a hanging basket. So there was no intentionality there, you know. So I've decided I want to like swap those out, bring some intentionality back. Since the brambles didn't work out, I'll take them out, probably put them in a pot and put them in the garden somewhere, so I'll still have them, but they're not taking like center stage, you know, on my porch. so come and help me do that. So this is what we're dealing with here. So you can see we've got a tiny bramble pot. It's got some dandelion in there, that I'll probably plant actually for my tortoise. So I'm just going to replant the dandelion, replant the brambles, and put these strawberries that I just got on my dog walk, plant them in their new baskets. So we are getting ready to go to a special yoga class. I'll take you along with me because I think you'll enjoy this. Burnt Fen Alpacas is a local to me alpaca farm that I have been wanting to visit for ages. I finally got the chance this month. It's home to and run by the lovely Annie Nickerson, who offers alpaca experiences such as nature walks and fibre art classes such as spinning, weaving and natural dyeing. We bonded over a love of her alpacas, knitting and fibre art, and I was lucky enough to get a personal tour of her craft yurt, so I'm paying it forward for you guys. Enjoy. This is Anne's workspace. So this is where she teaches weaving and spinning, and essentially it's just a knitter and crafter's dream in here. It's just amazing. Just lots of alpaca stuff. This is all hand spun here, and this is her loom. Wouldn't you like to craft here? I think this is the most immersive yoga class I have ever experienced. The outdoors, being in nature, birds singing, leaves rustling, surrounded by gentle alpacas grazing, great company, the sun on my skin, and a spring breeze to sway to. 10 out of 10 would recommend. And like everything featured in my videos, this is not sponsored. You are very grubby, aren't you? Tickling. Right, I'll get it off my mat for you. So you're more gentle now. So after I had hung out with the alpacas, I felt it only right and proper that I purchased a little sample of their yarn. So I bought 300 grams in total. So I bought 200 grams of this this sort of black, really dark brown, buttery soft goodness. So this is DK weight, and it is a fellow that I felt that I bonded quite well with, called Caspian, and I opted for his yarn. And it just feels so silky. This is very, very drapey. So I'm thinking either a shawl or a blouse, like a nice mid-season blouse, long or short sleeves. So if you have any recommendations for patterns that I could use, maybe for a t-shirt or a long sleeved, not quite a sweater but a top, please leave your recommendations in the comments, as I would like to knit something nice with this. So I have 200 grams, and I also have in total 100 grams of this hand dyed alpaca as well. So this has been dyed using dahlia flowers, and as dahlias are one of my favourite flowers, I thought, okay, let's try this yarn. So that's all I have for you today. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel if you like what I do here. Not to tell you what to do, but take care of yourself, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye. Can I borrow a carrot? Well, I won't borrow.
As long as you return.
I'm not sure we should want it once it's been through the alpaca.